Today at Washington Elementary School, we would like to welcome Mr. Kevin Cook from Easter's Food Store. He's going to talk with us about the nutrition of different types of fruits and vegetables because we have been studying them in science, all about the different food groups, and we'll be talking about those. And he'll be showing us a lot of the different fruits and vegetables, and we'll also be able to try them out. Thank you for being here, Mr.
Well, thank you for having me, Mrs. Wells and Mrs. Rowe. Thank you very much for having me. I've been coming to this classroom for quite a while, and I really enjoy coming to see Mrs. Rowe, and it used to be another teacher, and then Mrs. Wells took over, so we've been working at this for quite a while. But we want to express one thing. I want you to eat healthy. Because you know something? We a lot of times hear the phrase, you are what you eat. Well, sometimes you aren't what you don't eat. And we want to make sure that you get enough brain food and enough good food for your body so that you grow up to be as much as you can be in your adult life. And even when you go out to the playground, you want to feel healthy. We're going to try a lot of different foods. We've even got a few questions to ask. We're going to have a good time, all right? Okay, so I guess the first thing we're going to do is we'll get started with this. What color is this? Can anybody tell me? Now, I don't know very many of you young people's names, so I'm just going to point. How's that? All right? What color is that?
Orange.
Now, that's pretty important. Orange is important. So let's remember that. This color is, what color is that?
Orange.
Orange. We got two oranges, but neither one are oranges. They're orange, but not oranges. What color is this? What color is that? Somebody to the back, right there. What color is that?
Green.
Okay, green. That's important because these three different items that I held up, not only the spinach, not only the cantaloupe and the carrots, but it's important to remember one thing for one express purpose, and that is vitamin A is found in orange and dark green leafy vegetables. And this happens to be, what is this? Back there, what is that?
Dark green.
It's dark green. What is this? So what kind of vegetable is that?
Spinach.
It's spinach. Can I tell you a little story right off to start with? I have to tell you a story about when I was a little kid. Well, I guess I wasn't so little. I was probably about your age. How many of you like to play ball? You like to play ball? You like to play baseball in the summer? I love to play baseball. And my mom used to feed us spinach and liver. Now, spinach is about 3 ounces of spinach, about 20% of your daily minimum requirement in iron. So it is good for you in iron. But when you get spinach at home, my mom used to buy it in a can. And you get spinach in a can, and she'd cook it to where it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a heap. And then she'd put vinegar on it. Now that's not my idea of good food. Cook down spinach with vinegar on it, and then she'd say, you have to eat it before you can go play ball. Now, I really wanted to play ball. And I had a brother 2 years older than me and one 2 years younger, and they would eat their spinach, but I would sit there and look at my spinach. And it got colder and colder, and Mom would just stand there and watch me. No, you're not going outside until you eat that spinach. And so guess what? There's only one way to eat something that you don't like, and that is you got to do it all at once, right? So I would scoop up just as much as I could get, throw it in my mouth, swallow it as fast as I could, and then beg Mom that I wouldn't have to eat it all so I could go play ball. Well, she usually let me off the hook with most of it. But I said right then, I'm not ever going to eat spinach when I get big. When I get to be an adult and I get married, there will not be any spinach in my house, period. And that was true for a long time. One day I lived in Louisiana, and a friend had us out to eat. We went over to their house to eat supper. And in that supper was a tossed salad, and in that tossed salad was a dark green leafy vegetable. What do you think it was in there? What was that?
Spinach.
Spinach. And you know something? I like raw spinach. I like spinach just like that. You just wash it and eat it just like that. I really like it. Cooked spinach? No, I still don't like it. But I love raw spinach. Now what's the moral of this little story? This actually happened. I didn't make that up. It is whether we're eating spinach or whether we're eating broccoli or cauliflower or carrots. If you don't like them cooked, try them raw. If you don't like them raw, try cooking them. Try steaming them. Try a little bit of dip on them. You know, vegetable dip. Try them all different ways, because I hate it. Cooked spinach. Maybe some of you like it, and that's really good, and I'm glad if you do like cooked spinach, but not this guy. But I really do like raw spinach. So don't give up on broccoli like President Bush did just because maybe you don't like it cooked, but try it raw, okay? Yeah, all right, do that for me, because you'll be like me. I missed out on raw spinach for 28 years because I didn't try it raw when I would have really liked it. Okay, that's a little story to start with. So let's try some carrots this morning. Mrs. Rowe and Mrs. Wells, I'm still supposed to start right here?
Yeah.
Can I let them pass it? Okay. Okay, now, I don't know if you like tomatoes. How many of you like tomatoes? Oh, just a minute, I got to back up. What color? Vitamin A is orange and dark green, right? What does vitamin A do for your eyes? What do we hear? I already gave it away. Yeah, it's supposed to help a lot of different things. Vitamin A, beta carotene, is supposed to be good for you. I think it helps in your eyesight too. I don't know for sure. But anyway, beta carotene, that's in vitamin A. That's that dark green leafy vegetable and orange. That's important, isn't it? It really is. Now, I asked the question, how many of you like tomatoes? I like tomatoes. And you know something? I always try to bring something new to every class that I'm with, whether I'm here or whether I'm over at the high school or whether I'm at Lincoln or at Pence or wherever I get to visit with young people. I always try to bring one new thing. Well, the new thing we're going to try today, and guess what? Probably not even your parents, not Mrs. Rowe, not Mrs. Wells, have tried these yet. These are called grape cherry tomatoes. They're a lot different in flavor than a regular cherry tomato. Now, do you like cherry tomatoes? How many of you like cherry tomatoes? Oh, some of you don't like cherry tomatoes. You didn't try a cherry tomato? Well, we're going to try these. This is the first time that I've seen these, and that was just today. The first time I'd ever tried one was today. They're really nice little tomatoes. So we're going to pass them around, and you can go ahead and try them. Just take one and pass it around. I'll tell you what, they are, as the guy on TV would say, they're good. I like them. They really are good. Okay, let's talk about some other things that are good for you, and I'll just pass these around. Don't eat this, please, okay? Don't eat it. Don't munch on it, because this is ginger root. Just smell it, okay? And I'll start one here and one over here, and you can just smell this. Don't chew on it, because it smells like, you know how vanilla is in your cupboard? You get in the cupboard and you smell vanilla, and it does smell good. How many of you have smelled vanilla? Well, one time I smelled vanilla and I thought, boy, that smells so good. It has to taste good. I got a bottle out and took a swig of that. Don't do that. It's nasty. Just don't bother. It's nasty. It's good food additive, so just leave it in the cupboard for your mother to use, and you'll get along just fine. But that's ginger root that we're passing around, and if you chew on that, it gets really hot. So just smell it and realize that I really like ginger, but you need it in really small quantities. So you can smell how good that smells. It's good in some of the sauces that we make, but it's pretty pretty strong in that form, so just pass it around. Okay, we're talking vitamin A. What colors are we talking about? What colors are the good ones to look for when you want to get some vitamin A?
Orange and red.
Orange, well, orange and dark orange. Dark green, there we go. Orange and dark green are the two colors for vitamin A. One of the other vitamins that we get a lot of vitamins, another vitamin that we get from fruits and vegetables is the one that sometimes helps us to keep from getting the common cold. What vitamin is that? We have vitamin A, but no, this is vitamin C. That's right, vitamin C. And we're going to talk about vitamin C for just a minute. How many of you know what they call a sailor from Great Britain? They have a nickname for him. And this comes because years ago when they used to be in the old sail ships like the Pinta and the Santa Maria and the Mayflower and all those ships that they sailed over on, you know what I'm talking about? The ones that go really slow, that take weeks and months. If you'd have been in the same boat with Magellan, how he sailed around the whole world, how long it took him. Well, they used to get a disease called scurvy. And scurvy was because they didn't get enough vitamin C. And it would cause a disease of the gums, and then their teeth would fall out. And so they used to take something with them to chew on to keep from getting scurvy. And they chewed on these enough that they got that nickname. It's a citrus fruit, and we get vitamin C from it. And that nickname was, nobody knows. So I'm going to hold the fruit up, and you probably don't recognize it. Do you think you will? What is that? What is that, Margaret? No, not a kiwi. What is it?
Avocado.
No, not an avocado. What is that thing? What is that right there?
A lime.
It's a lime. They call those guys from over there in Great Britain, they call them Limeys when they're talking about a sailor. Did you know that? They call them Limeys. Well, what do they call a sailor from New Zealand? You know, they have sailors in the America's Cup. They have the United States guys, the sailors from the States. The Yankees are sailing against the Aussies. That's the guys from Australia. And the other really good sailors are from New Zealand, but what do they call them? What do they call them? Okay, let's try this one again. Margaret, what do they call them? Kiwis, that's right. They call them kiwis. Well, what do you think? A kiwi is, this is a citrus fruit. That lime is a citrus fruit, so is that tangerine. Those are citrus fruits, and they're high in vitamin C. But do you think a kiwi's not a citrus fruit, but is that high in vitamin C? What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that this kiwi has 3 times as much vitamin C as this lime does? You know that? In fact, the kiwi is recognized as the most nutritious fruit there is, period. This one right here. Okay, so you ready for a little nutrition? Yeah. Oh, okay, let's eat a little kiwi then, huh? Okay. Okay, now, what I'm going to do, was there any forks left back there, Mrs. Wells? If not, I've got some more up here. I'll put a fork in these so that you won't have to use your forks, okay? Because some of you have probably had your forks. So what I'm going to do is put a fork in here, and then you use one of the forks in these kiwi to get your kiwi, okay?
I don't like kiwi.
Okay, so you want to try a kiwi, and then I'll pass around something right behind it that's got some vitamin C in it, okay? That's not a citrus fruit. Will that be all right? Yeah, we'll try some strawberries. You like strawberries, don't you? They have vitamin C in them. Sure they do. That's right. Okay. They have vitamin C in these strawberries too. Do you like the kiwi? Okay, take one and pass it around, please, so everybody gets a chance to try them. Kiwis are good. They're really good. Vitamin C is important. It helps you to keep from the colds. It helps us to have energy, and there's a lot of good in that. You know what? Fruits and vegetables are very high in vitamin A, vitamin C, and dietary fiber. Those are the three main things that we get from vegetables, and they're very important to your health and well-being. Also, the sugars are natural so that you get a natural high. Does anybody know, by any chance, they took a survey of teachers and they decided what the hardest day of school was to teach school? What do you think they came up with? What do you think is, if you were a teacher, what would be the hardest day to teach school? What would it be? Back there, what would it be?
When they have celebrations.
Celebrations, yeah. Well, this is a hard day. It's kind of around a celebration. It's kind of around a celebration. What do you think it is? Okay, you forgot. All right, what do you think it is?
When the kids don't listen.
When the kids don't what?
When the kids don't listen.
When the kids don't listen. It's hard to teach school when the kids aren't listening. You got that right. And guess what? This day they probably don't listen very well, do they? Well, this day is wrapped around a holiday. I'm not going to say it is a holiday, but it's kind of around that holiday. What do you think that day is?
Christmas.
Is it around Christmas? Well, there's some times around Christmas that are pretty hard, but no, that's not the right answer. Right back there.
Valentine's Day.
Well, that's probably tough too because this can go along with that, but no, that's not the answer. Right back there. What's that?
Holiday.
Holidays? Well, this is a holiday, all right. What do you think it is?
Easter's.
No, not Easter.
Martin Luther King.
No, not that one. No, that's not it.
Christmas?
Not Christmas, not Martin Luther. Oh, well, now let's think about it for a minute. If it's hard to teach school when kids don't listen because they're high on sugar, because they've gotten too much candy, what do you think it is?
Halloween.
The day after Halloween. What do you think of that? Well, that's what they came up with. That's the time when it was hard for teachers to teach school. Because kids, instead of sitting in their seats, they were hovered about this high above their seat. You know, because they'd eaten so much chocolate, and those Snickers are really good, you know, right before you go to bed. But that sugar, it makes you do different things. So that's kind of hard for a teacher to teach. And that's what they came up with as the hardest day to teach school, was because of all that sugar. Okay, we'll try. We were talking vitamin C, so we're going to eat a tangerine here. Those are tangerines, all right? Let me get a fork for that.
You
There.
look like oranges.
What's that?
You look like oranges.
Well, they're kind of like oranges. Yeah, a tangerine's kind of like an orange. Those, I guess, technically are Tangelos, but those are pretty good too. Now, there's one thing that I brought today that is my favorite fruit. And I usually don't bring it with me because it's kind of messy to eat. But I hope that you're up to the task and you can eat food that slides around. Because this one is a little bit slick. Just try it for me. Some of you may not like it, but it's my favorite. And guess what else? It happens to be the world's most favorite fruit. What do you think it is? What is the most popular fruit in the world? What is the most popular fruit in the world? Banana? Boy, you came real close, just that close. Bananas is number 2, and it's closing in on this one, but this one's still number 1. What do you think it is?
Orange.
No, not an orange.
Apple.
Not an apple.
Peach.
No peaches.
A pear.
No pear.
What
do you think it is?
Pepper.
No, not a pepper.
Grape.
Not grapes. Nope, I'm sorry. Those are all good guesses, but no, it's not that.
A zucchini.
No, not a zucchini.
Cauliflower.
Not cauliflower. We're talking fruit here. What fruit is there that, what fruit's the most popular fruit in the world?
Pineapple.
Not pineapple. That's a good guess. 2 more guesses, and then I'll tell you.
Broccoli.
Not broccoli.
Tangerine.
Not tangerine. I'm going to tell you what it is. In fact, I brought one. I'm going to let you try it today.
Mango.
It is a,
Mango.
right over there. What is it?
Mango.
Mango. Did you know that? A mango? How many of you have never tasted a mango? You've never tasted a mango? You've missed out on the most popular fruit in the world. Did you know that? See, in a lot of countries, in tropical countries, they eat these 3 meals a day. That's the reason it just makes up so much of their diet. Now, this is what they look like inside. And they are very good for your digestive system. They have a lot of nutrition. They're high in vitamin C. They also have good dietary fiber. But they are also, along with papayas, one of the main ingredients for a lot of meat tenderizers. So they do break down food. So they're good for your digestive system. A lot of people use these to help when they eat food. And grapes also. Grapes are very good for your digestive system. So what do I mean by that? Well, that means that when you eat food, then you get the nutritional value out of that food better when you use foods like mangoes and grapes and things that have good enzymes that help you digest that food. And that way you get more of the vitamin C out of that orange or that kiwi than you might if you didn't eat it. So you're going to have to be careful with this. And like I say, I don't bring these a lot because they're just a little tough to handle. But that's a mango. So if you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, keep it a little secret for a while, okay? Yeah, it'll be better that way. Did we get enough strawberries around? If not, I'll start another one. I have another one here to go around. Okay, vitamin C. We're going to look at another one that's a little bit unusual. That's a vitamin C fruit. And this is, how many of you know what the Spanish name for this is? The Spanish, what's the English name for this?
Star fruit.
Star fruit. And how do you get the name for it? Because when it's cut, when it's cut just like this, I'm going to show you. See that when it's cut? See what a pretty star that makes? You see that? That makes a neat star, doesn't it? So when you want to fix Jell-O, and these are eaten raw, when you want to fix Jell-O, you just take a slice of it, like that. You know, when you cut it and see what, that looks like somebody drew it, doesn't it? It's that nice. So star fruit, it's really an attractive fruit, but it's really good for you. I really do like them too, and we're gonna pass some of these around. That one that I just showed you is just a shade on the green side, and so I did bring some ripe ones. Now be careful because there are a few seeds in these, okay? So be careful the seed. There are a few seeds in those, so be careful when you eat them. When that kiwi is cut, and I forgot to show you this, when that kiwi is cut, it looks fuzzy, but that's exactly what it looks like on the inside. I brought this cut. It just, when you open it up, it looks just like that. See how thin that peel is? Yeah, that's what it looks like right there. And these look really neat on a Jell-O. Do you fix Jell-O at home? Some of you get a fixed Jell-O? You buy a kiwi and you just cut thin slices and just lay it around the top. Makes it really pretty when you got peaches and pears and things like that down inside. It really looks nice. Okay. Okay, we brought another one right here. And fruit or vegetable? What is this monstrosity? Is it a potato? Oh, kind of. Is it a fruit or a vegetable? What is it? What is that? It's a vegetable, that's right. Now, what is it? Who knows? And who's guessing? Does anybody know what it is? What is it? It's kind of like a potato. In fact, we refer to it as a Mexican potato sometimes, but it goes by a different name. What is it?
A turnip?
No, it's kind of like a turnip.
An onion?
No, it's not an onion. We call this a jicama. It's spelled Jicama. And we pronounce it jicama because in Spanish that J is pronounced as an H. And when you cut it open, if I can get my knife around it, standing right here, see what it looks like on the inside? That's what it looks like on the inside. Now, you know something about a jicama? Can you cook a potato down and mash it? Sure you can. You can't cook a jicama down. You can cook them and cook them. In fact, a friend of mine, I gave one to her to take home and try it, and she came back and said, I cooked it 4 hours. Those aren't any good at all. I could never get it tender. It just wouldn't get done. And I said, well, you probably could have cooked it 8 hours and it wouldn't have gotten tender, because that's the way they are. And so they're very good for stir fry, because how many of you like stir fry? I love stir fry. Boy, that is good. It's a good way to eat food. Because you know something? When you just put vegetables in and just heat them up good, they have more nutrition than if you cook them a lot. Because you can cook away the nutritional value. But jicama is really, really good for stir fry because it doesn't cook down. So I'll pass these around, this jicama, and you can try it too, okay? Now that's just plain old raw jicama, and that's the way I like to eat it. We'll have to start these cantaloupe too right here. Okay, we're talking vitamin A here with the cantaloupe. Now, oh, one other thing before I forget. I usually start this off in the class. When I start, something I want to tell you is I brought a different kind of apple today. I get kind of tired of just bringing one kind of apple. So you didn't get red delicious apples today. I hope that wasn't what you were planning on. But this is different than a red delicious apple. This is a Gala. It's called a royal Gala because it has the red on it. A plain Gala is just yellow. But do me a favor now. I've got enough apples for each one of you to have an apple, but you have to promise me one thing. That you will let Mrs. Wells and Mrs. Rowe decide when you get those apples, okay? Because you're getting a lot of fruit today to eat, and a lot of vegetables, and a lot of different things to try, and they might decide that tomorrow would be a better day for you to eat apples. If they want to give them to you today, that's fine. If they want to give them to you next Monday, that's okay too, isn't it? Now you promise me that you won't beg for your apple, but you let them decide when they are going to give you their apple, to give you your apple. There we go. Okay, does anybody know what we have this apple, and an apple, along with all of these other fruits and vegetables that we've tried, there's something important about these that I want to tell you. When your mom or dad, whoever washes the clothes at your house, starts up the washing machine, turns on the water starts to fill up, they put something in the water. What do they put in the water? What do they put in the water when they're going to wash clothes? What do they put in the water?
Soap detergent.
Detergent. I'm glad thank you for using that word. Detergent. They use a detergent. And we call certain fruits and vegetables and other things also detergents. That means that when you bite an apple and chew it, it is called a detergent because the pectin and the fiber in that apple cleans your teeth and your gums and your tongue. Did you know that? Did you ever eat a good crisp apple and when you get done, it feels like your lips are actually squeaking across your teeth? They kind of stick. You know what I mean? You get a really good apple and they kind of stick. It's called a detergent. And there are some other fruits, like cherries are a very good detergent. So are apricots, peaches, nectarines. But broccoli and cauliflower are good detergents also. But apples are considered the number 2 detergent. It gets over 90%, recognized by the American Dental Association, over 90% of the plaque off your teeth when you eat an apple. That's a lot. Do me a favor though. If you eat an apple today, don't go home and say, Mom, I don't have to brush my teeth tonight because I ate an apple. No, you need to brush your teeth too. But apples are a detergent. They help to clean your teeth. And they help to clean your gums and things like that. And so other fruits do too. And so not only do they taste good, and not only are they good for you because of pectin, the pectin in an apple really helps your digestive system, but they really do help clean your teeth. So I've got enough of these Gala apples in here for everybody to have one, but you promised now, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, you did. That's good. I'm glad you said yes. Okay, now these grapes are extremely full. So be careful with them. You can take 2 or 3 or 4 of those because I've got another one right here of the grapes. And I'm going to start, Mrs. Rowe, do you want me to start these over here or you want to start them at the back? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll start those back there. I have one more fruit up here that I want to talk about. Do I need some more forks?
I think you better pick the grapes up.
Okay, yeah, they're probably going to have to just be as careful as you can to pick them up because the fork just doesn't go in them very well. Those grapes are from Chile, from clear down in South America, so they've come a long way. But they're also still good grapes. We're talking pineapple here a little bit. How many of you like pineapple? Do you like pineapple? If you go to the store and buy pineapple out of a can and it's shaped like that, what do we call that? What do we call those?
Canned pineapple?
Canned pineapple. No, if you buy a can of pineapple and it's got this kind of pineapple in the can, then what do we call those? Pineapple
Chunks.
chunks. There we go. We call them pineapple chunks. Well, how else can you get canned pineapple? Has anybody thought about that? How else can you buy canned pineapple?
Sliced.
Sliced. We call them pineapple. They're in a circle and we call them rings, don't we? But it's really a sliced pineapple. And we also get crushed pineapple. You ever see crushed? And how about if you get one that has a little bitty piece of pineapple, but it's not crushed, it's called a tidbit. Pineapple tidbits. Have you ever thought, though, how do you get rings out of a pineapple? Got any idea? How do you get rings out of a pineapple? A pineapple is round, but how do you get rings out of a pineapple? Well, I'll tell you what, you are in luck today because I'm going to show you how we get rings out of a pineapple. Here's how we get rings out of pineapple. I'm going to set that down. I think I'm going to set it down. Get my paper towel here. Okay, we're going to show you how to get rings out of this pineapple, all right? Now we're going to take this pineapple and take the top off, just like that, all right? All right. The top comes off the pineapple, and then we've got to take the bottom off, all right? So now we got the top and the bottom is off, but we're still stuck with the rest of this. And so then we take the side off, and it's still a circle, but it's not a ring, is it? What do we got to do to make it a ring? You got to push the middle out. Just like that. Now look at it. See? So then you take the pineapple. I'm going to use this. What do I do with my knife? Well, lost my knife. It's on the table. Thank you. And then we cut it crossways just like that. And there's what you find in a can of pineapple. That's a pineapple ring, isn't it? That's how you get a pineapple to make a ring. Now, the reason we use that, take that middle out, the reason we don't have it just a circle is because the center of a pineapple is pretty woody. It's like chewing on a small tree. And so it doesn't eat very well. So we have a machine that takes the center right out of that pineapple. So that's how you get a pineapple ring. And oh, by the way, this is another one of those that's really good for your digestive system. You know, I was talking about all those tropical fruits like papayas and mangoes and different fruits like that. Mangosteen or whatever we're talking about is really good for your digestive system. So are pineapples. Pineapples are really, really good for you. Now, do you want to try some? Okay, let's try some pineapple. I got to get a fork here. I got to get a fork. These are good pineapple too. Now, I haven't eaten this one, so I don't know what it's like, but hopefully it'll be a real good pineapple. They generally are good pineapple. And they begin to, you know how that when they bring pineapple over here, you know where they used to put them on a boat and they'd float it over to Los Angeles and they'd take it off the boat and they'd put it on a truck and they'd truck it to Des Moines or to Cedar Rapids or to Omaha or to Sheraton or some other town like that that has a warehouse. And they'd take it off the truck and put it onto the truck and bring it down to you. And it took a long time for that pineapple to get to you, didn't it? That's quite a while. It'd take a week, 10 days for that pineapple to get to you. And so, boy, you know, we have to pick them awful green or they're going to be rotten by the time they get to Iowa. Well, they started putting them on an airplane or a jet, and they go up in the air and they land. And that's how they're brought over here, and so they come in a day or two. And so they can leave those pineapple on the plant 3 or 4 or 5 days longer and let them get riper and still ship them so we get them good. And that's the reason now that we see pineapple, and you probably are young enough that you haven't seen the old green pineapple that we used to see. They were all real green, but now they have this real pretty color on the shell. That's because they get to stay on the plant longer. And that's the reason that pineapple today are so much better than they were when we used to get them 10 years ago. So they're a lot better that way. So we have enough forks in that. I'll put another fork in that pineapple. Somehow we lost a fork along the way. There we go. Okay, so we just about covered everything. Okay, now remember that. We need to make sure that we eat nutritiously. It's good for you to eat nutritiously. You've tried a lot of things today. Hopefully you found something that you hadn't tried before that today you really like. Now, one thing that I want you to listen to, and that is it's important for you to eat the right kind of foods. It really is. It's important for you to eat the right kind of foods. And as you get older and you study harder and you play harder, and whether you're playing varsity ball or whether you're on the speech team or whether you're just sitting down and you're going to study for 3 or 4 hours straight in college or whatever you're doing, good nutrition is really important. And it's important to you as you grow up. It's important to how you feel. It's important to how you learn. How many of you ever have the opportunity, and this happened at our house once in a while, where one of the children was very good, and so we'd say, okay, you can get something today. Whatever you want, just go get something. Now, we didn't mean for him to go buy a car or anything like that, but we thought when we go in the grocery store, you can get yourself a treat. Does that happen at your house? Does Mom ever tell you, okay, you can get something today? Where do you run? Right for the candy rack? I hope not. I hope you think, well, you know, it'd be nice to have a kiwi today. It'd be nice to have an orange today. Maybe I'd like to have a Gala apple. So if you just part of the time at least, sometimes go to the produce department and get something healthy instead of the candy rack, then maybe my coming today will be worthwhile. I want you to eat nutritiously. I want you to eat good food because it really is important to you as you grow up. Because right now, you're putting on muscle mass, your bones are growing, and your mind is expanding, and you need to eat the right kind of foods to help your body so that you can progress the way you need to. Because you don't want to be left out because of something that you left out of your diet. And so, eat smart, okay? All right, can you do that? All right. Okay, I always save a little bit of time for questions, and I just have a couple of minutes, just maybe a minute or two. So we have any questions? You got a question?
What's your least favorite vegetable?
What's my least favorite fruit or vegetable? Let's see. My least favorite, well, can I put it, can I answer that question and say cooked or raw? I love fried okra, but I don't like boiled okra. How's that? I love fried okra, but I don't like boiled okra. I like eggplant. You like eggplant? Never tried eggplant. Okay, but I like just about every fruit. I think they're all good. I really do like fruit. Okay, another question.
Which fruit or vegetable do you like the most?
Which fruit or vegetable do I like the most? You know, I was just talking to Mrs. Rowe the other day about that. When I was your age, I didn't like broccoli or cauliflower very well either. But you know something now? If I go into a restaurant and I said, waiter, what's your soup of the day? And they say broccoli or cheese soup. Boy, I'm ready for a bowl of that right away. I love broccoli and cauliflower. Broccoli, I really do. In fact, a way that I don't know if Mrs. Rowe told me to eat it this way or if we got together on this, but if you'll take broccoli, just take a stalk of broccoli like this and wash it. And then you just take these and then put it in the microwave just for 15, 20, 30 seconds, just to knock off the raw, you know, and then put it back in the refrigerator and let it get cool. That's the way I really like broccoli. Boy, it is so good that way.
You taught me that. Or dip it in cold water and it'll cool really fast.
Right. That's another good hint. But I do like that raw broccoli. It's so good when it's fixed that way. I really do like. Of course, I told you that mango's my favorite fruit. Another question.
We have some more strawberries.
Can you have some more strawberries? That's a good question. I'll tell you what. That's a good question for your teachers to answer when I'm gone. How's that? Is that a good answer? Okay, that's a good answer. Another question.
Which meat do you not like the most?
Which meat? You mean meat? Oh boy, you're getting tough on me now. I don't know the answer to that one. I suppose raw oysters. Have you ever eaten raw oysters? I tried some straight out of the ocean. In fact, I went down and got them right off the bottom of the ocean. Brought them up to the top, and the guy that was running the boat sat there with this, it's kind of like a knife, only it had a hook on it, and he just popped that oyster shell open and said, "Here, have some." I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend that for a lot of reasons. Health-wise, it's not too sanitary. And number two, they're finding out that raw stuff out of the ocean is not a good idea. And I did all the above. And besides that, I didn't like it. It didn't taste good. And you know what he said to me? "Well, you're the kind of guy I like. You'll go get them, and when you come back, you don't eat much."
Like liver?
Yes, I do. I really do like liver. Oh, by the way, does anybody know what the most disliked food in the world is? You know what the most disliked food in the world is? What do you think it is?
Cookies.
Cookies. Dislike, not like, dislike. That's got to be the most liked food.
Liver.
Liver. That's a good guess, but that's number 2. Liver and onions is number 2. There's one that's disliked more than that. Whoa, what could that be? What is it?
Kiwi.
No, it's not even a fruit. It's a byproduct of a vegetable. What do you think it is?
Peas.
No?
Squash.
Not squash. Peas is one of them at our house. Some of them don't like peas very well, but I love peas.
Cook spinach with vinegar.
That's what it is at my house. That's number 1. But no, that's not it. One more guess, because I think we're guessing now. What do you think? Spinach? No. I'll tell you what it is. It's tofu. Tofu is voted the most disliked food in the world, in the United States. The most disliked food in the United States is called tofu, and tofu is good for you.
Which vegetable do you sell the most at Easter's, and which fruit?
Which vegetable do we sell the most of at Easter's?
You just really have to keep it replenished a lot.
Probably broccoli.
Broccoli. And which fruit?
Probably bananas. Bananas. Although we sell a lot of tofu, but that's not really a raw fruit or vegetable. But broccoli's probably, broccoli and bananas. Potatoes sell quite a bit too. Yeah, it's a staple, but we sell a lot of broccoli. Goes pretty fast. Okay, you know something? Thank you very, very much for letting me come today, and I appreciate it. And remember a promise you made to me? And eat healthy, okay? Thank you. All right, you're sure welcome.